Well, that's what happens when you're late to the party, right? Okay.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Wednesday, Hump Day, which means it's time for Boob Tube. And of course, it's not Boob Tube without my beautiful co-hosts, KZ Carter and Desiree Desirable Bottom. Hello, ladies.
Hey, hey, hey.
These things never want to stay in my ears.
I was going to say, here we go.
At least they've got the cord on them so I can like find them. But like what's really frustrating when you have the AirPods, when they fall out, you're like
trying to catch them joints.
Right. Because yeah. Oh, look who's here. It's Jason.
Woo-hoo! Wait, hold on. Let me get my real applause here. Hold on. Real applause. Hey, Jason.
We missed you.
Thank you for getting the Wi-Fi so you can join the party. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So glad to have you back.
Oh, awesome.
Okay. Welcome Jason. This is my first time. Seems like yes. Listen, Jason is one of our longtime fans. Jason's like a super fan. Let's be honest, because Jason not only shows up to Boob Tube, Jason comes to Exotica. So
he is an OF.
Yes.
An original fan.
He is an original fan.
He is an original fan. So, hey everyone, we hope you're having a fabulous week. It's hump day. We're past hump week. We're in Q4. Can you believe like this year is almost over?
No, I'm still traumatized by the fact that we are in Q4. Like seriously, I don't. I feel like I just celebrated New Year's. And already Lorenzo and I are like, so what are we doing for New Year's? Like, I don't know.
My son called me the other day and he's like, and I get concerned whenever he, calls me in the middle of the day. And so when I pick up the phone and he's like, hey Ma, what's the plan for Christmas? I'm like, what? What? Weren't we just in summer?
Apparently not.
But it is spooky season, which is my favorite time of the year. So, woo!
What? Hold on a second. All right, ladies, let us today commit to an outfit or costumes. Oh, so the 30th, we do a show on the 30th. We got to do costumes.
Okay. Done.
No, let's commit to that today.
You're going to make me go into my storage, into my totes, to my 10,000 costume totes.
Listen.
I got to go in there anyways because this weekend is Monster Mania Con here in Baltimore, so I was going to go in there anyway.
I was going to say, first and foremost, you have that option. I don't really have that option. I have to decide, am I going to go old school and just throw some shit together? Or do I go cheap school and go down to Party City and just grab some shit off the shelf? I don't know.
Or Spirit. We love Spirit.
Well, I don't think I have a Spirit locally. I'd have to go to the mall. I hate the mall.
Oh, yeah, I don't blame you.
But Casey, I give you mad credit because you always come up with stuff on the fly. So
because I'm cheap as fuck when it comes to these things.
Let's talk about real quick. Remember when you were young and you did at least for me, I remember not having a lot of money, and my mom would not buy stuff for Halloween because she just didn't think it was important. And so I had to always come up with outfits together. And so one time I was a baby and we used a pillowcase as my diaper. One time I was a punk rocker, so we literally just bought like the color spray, and like teased up my hair and sprayed it out, and I looked crazy and, you know, did the punk rock thing. And then one year I was Madonna, and I just had like a lot of bracelets, and I had like the little tutu skirt with the capri leggings underneath, and I tried to do the half crop top, and my mom was like, "If you don't go put some clothes on," so I just did a tank top. But yeah, and I had like the hair and the bandana, and yeah, it was yeah. So what were some of your like costumes that you remember?
I don't.
I was a ghost the one time, like with a sheet too. I had to like put a sheet on and cut out the eyes. Yeah.
I love that.
Did that. Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, did that too. Same thing.
Yeah.
Had to get like the bandanas, cut the eyes out. Yep. Did that.
See, I don't recall. I don't recall. I think because again, I never I got to a certain age and mom stopped buying me costumes, and I don't remember any of the costumes before she stopped buying them. And I literally just would throw shit together, like, you know, throw it together. I don't know. But I was always in it for the candy, and as long as you were going to give me candy.
I mean, I like the candy. Oh, go ahead.
Make sure to check out our past episodes because we've dressed up a couple times.
We have. So, yeah. Yep. So that's why I want to throw it out now in advance that we do that, because I'm gonna be honest, ladies, that's more for my benefit than it is for yours, because I'm time to put something together.
I have an idea. So this is what we can do, ladies. We can next week we can come back and share what our options are. Like, you know, maybe we have 2 or 3 options each, and you guys are going to vote on which costumes we wear. You gotta subscribe, you gotta comment, and we will check the comments to see which one, you know, which of the options got the most votes. But then we'll get to be what you want us to be within our choices.
All right, so wait, let me just make sure I got this straight. You're telling me that between now and when I got to actually come up with something? Didn't I just say I need all of this time to try to figure it out? No, and don't hear me out, Kari. I don't know that I'm ready to do it by next episode, but I might be able to do it. Wait, hold on. Let's go back to the calendar, because I don't want to be a party pooper. I like this idea. So let's just How about the 16th? How about the 16th? Give not the 16th, but let's say 16th. The 16th is two weeks from now. So what if we say by the 13th amongst each other, we figure something out so that between the 14th and the 16th, we can run a poll. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Okay, because I ain't gonna lie. We gonna need more time. So, all right. So, 10:30, we're wearing costumes. And 10:13, we're gonna have some options for folks to pick for us. And okay. All right, see. Because listen,
there you go.
You want me to show up prepared, you're gonna have to give a sister some time. Costume.
You got that. You got it. No problem.
Okay. All right.
But
yes, I'm excited.
I am too. But before we get into our show, what we've been watching, we do have some people we had to give a moment of silence for. This week has been
a long fucking list, Kari. What are you talking about? It's a long list.
Well, the first one is John Amos, who was in Coming to America. He played
James Evans on Good Times.
I know. I wanted to do Coming to America first because that's a movie that we talk about a lot. But John Amos, James Evans, Pete Rose, Chris Christopherson. Yo. There's probably more, but
I think Cicely Tyson, right? Or was that with James Earl Jones?
Oh, James Earl Jones! Oh no, we said that the other week.
I know Cicely Tyson, and I don't remember if she was with James Earl Jones or if she was with this group, but I think she's in that group too.
Cicely
Tyson? The Harry Potter one?
Oh no, that's May something.
Yeah, there was a Harry Potter chick too, I think.
The older lady. I did not know Cicely Tyson. They said she died in January 2021.
Oh. Is that right? I don't know.
According to Wikipedia, she died in 2021.
Well, then if it's not her, it's somebody else.
It's the lady from
Harry Potter. I think it was the Harry Potter.
I don't know who that chick is. I don't know who that chick is.
The older white lady. She's the one that plays the...
That don't mean shit to me. I don't know who that chick is.
Damn.
But, okay.
She's a... Let's see. Who died this week? It's sad. Chris Christopherson, Maggie Smith, that's the one from Harry Potter. James Earl Jones, Shannon Doherty, and Bob Newhart.
Wait.
Yeah, Shannon Doherty too.
Oh, but they're kind of old.
Not Shannon Doherty, right? Isn't that
from 90210?
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, she had some drug problems. So
no, she had cancer.
Okay, but I think she also had drug problems. I thought she had drug problems too. But all right, whatever. I might be confusing my peoples.
Well, let me tell you why I don't. Well, so I'm a big Charmed fan, and I've been going down the rabbit hole because as of lately, within the last year, they've become more open about discussing like why they all hate Alyssa Milano, and I love Alyssa Milano, so I was like floored. Like, but I also like the Piper girl, the one that, but come to find out, she's Shannon's best friend. Like, they're really good friends. And when she went on the show, she demanded that they hire her. And so it made a lot of sense as to why. And I just kind of found it odd that Rose McGowan, who is the ex girlfriend of Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson.
Yeah,
Marilyn Manson. That guy.
You got it.
But she also plays in a lot of like alternatives. She was in Scream and, so anyways, I just found it like, but then I went back and I did some research, like looking at other people's YouTubes where they break down like each season. And then when you start to see like the episodes change, and there was a lot of like doting after, like in the show, it was written in where they were like, everyone was like, oh, we love her, we love Phoebe, and then it's like, oh yeah, that doesn't
Phoebe
look
good. Was which person?
Alyssa Milano. Okay. Yeah, so she started off real innocent and very like like a good person, and then like you can tell that it was her actress persona that was more putting a pressure on the writers and the producers to make her character more like attractive, and everybody dotes after her, and like everyone's in love with her, and it was like, yeah, I could see that. I could see why the other actresses were definitely
feeling some kind of way.
But then again, I also saw it from the other perspective of where, she probably felt odd man out with them being buddy. And Shannon feeling like, well, I'm the star of the show, which she was. She was hired by Aaron Spelling after doing 90210. So anyways, it's a whole, woohoo, we don't have enough time for all of that. So let's jump out of the rabbit hole and into the afterlife of, drum roll. Oh, we have another rest in peace.
Oh. Who? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me get to it. Hold on. You're right. Sorry. Hold on. Okay. And Des just.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So.
Yes. I was shocked. Okay, we'll do it all together. Sorry.
Man. All right, we're done with that. So.
First first of all, this is what really, for me, was like how screwed up it was. She was just getting to a point where she was putting her own needs and her own desires aside in the betterment of her family, and she was playing the role. Remember, I told you, play the role, and she was finally getting to a point where like it was looking really good for her being able to like get her kids back.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
The way she went out though.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. If there was the perfect way for her to go out, considering all the years that they've been together, that was the ultimate. I mean, especially after Kane gives Noma the whole speech about his mother and how, his mother, I mean, basically he told her his mother really was ride or die for him. I mean, contrary to what you think, she did what she had to. And I have to give him credit for how he stuck up for their relationship. And then I had to give, Monet credit for finally saying to him, you know what? You're a good son. And I did what I had to do. And, I did you wrong. I didn't do you right. I didn't say all the things that needed to be said. And so she said those things in that moment. Granted, I had no idea that it was going to kill a bitch, but she said everything that needed to be said, that he needed to hear in that moment. And I loved him defending his mother to Noma, because as we've said many times, their relationship is strange between the two of them, but there's definitely love between the two of them. It's a strange love, but it's there nonetheless. And when she had that look on her face where you could tell she decided she was going to take a bullet to save Kane, and she just threw herself out there, I was like, oh no, oh my God. This definitely confirms this joint is over. This show is over, because killing Monet means there's nothing to talk about. Monet was always the center of all the stories that was going on throughout all the seasons. So it's quite interesting. But at the same time, in that moment, when all the kids come rushing in, as she's taking her last breaths, I thought, going back to what you said, Kari, about spinoff, I'm like, is this our spinoff? Is it the three kids in getting revenge? I don't know. I mean, it would be interesting, because you now have, Drew was that reluctant gangster in the beginning, and he ultimately embraced it. And the sister, whose name I'm forgetting right now, Diana, she wasn't even reluctant. She was just a straight hell no. And now she's a cop killer. So she's all in now, whether she likes it or not. So it is, I don't know. My mind was blown when they killed Monet. I ain't gonna lie. My mind was blown.
I definitely was surprised at the way Kane came through. I think he realized in that moment, like, the gig is up and that Noma will, like, understanding the dynamic that he has with his mother, and as much as he wasn't getting that praise, knowing that Noma would just take him out as soon as she realized she had no use for him. Right. It was like he realized, like, my mother's here because of me. She's here to come and save me. Like, yeah, I definitely that. And I love the way he stood 10 toes down for her. Like, that for me, I'm really glad they wrote that in.
Me too.
Because I didn't see it coming. I really felt like there was going to be this big divide between the life that he saw for himself and the desired accolades or acknowledgement of his growing up and being the man that he wanted to be versus still being, you know, mama's favorite or whatever.
Yeah.
Her
Her
gangster
oldest.
son.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, because, you know, they spent a lot of time doing flashbacks in the last couple of seasons of Monet, the young Monet, with Kane and the things she did with him to be quite, you know, to become a gangster. I mean, her husband tried to make it seem like it was him and he brought her in, but the way they did those flashbacks, she made the decision to go all in and be gangster. And she seemed from the flashbacks, she seemed to be the, you know, the G in this situation versus her husband. And so you know, I don't know. Like I say every week so far, I am loving the way they are ending this season. I just pray come the last episode, they don't go fucking soprano on me. But right now, I'm so happy with how they're doing what they're doing because
or Dexter.
Or Dexter.
Where Tariq decides he's gonna run away to Alaska to be a longshoreman.
Or go into witness protection with his mom, whatever. Like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Right.
But
Right.
Okay. And then let's go back to Tariq for a second. Not even Tariq. Let's go to Method Man. This dude.
Working out. He's just
This dude. Hold on. We need some sound effects here.
So let's just say Method Man has come a long way because I've been a Wu-Tang fan since 100 years ago, and Method Man was never really. There was no like appeal to him. He wasn't
Not back
ugly,
then.
but he was not. It's like the equivalent of like the beginning of Jamie Foxx versus Jamie Foxx now. Even though I don't think that Jamie Foxx is like mega attractive, he definitely looks a lot better now. Chris Rock, same thing. Chris Rock. Never found Chris Rock to be attractive, but you look at him now, you clean him up or whatever. But the way that Method Man has sculpted his body, fixed his hair, I don't know what he's doing with that face, but I'm like,
METHOD man. The METHOD man. Yeah. Yeah.
Ass rules everything around me. $100 bill, y'all.
Yeah.
I was like,
Scream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. Yeah.
and he was pounding on Noma. How about that? Them both getting it on. Kane with Effie, Method Man
with Noma.
What's the name of this show?
Okay,
Noma.
and let's talk about the fact it was two different scenarios, right? Like Kane, no, I'm sorry, Method Man and Noma, that they were savage. You know, they were fighting for who was gonna be on top. Whereas Kane and Effie was a little bit more passionate, a little bit more sensual, which I have to admit, I kind of was digging that because for me, it felt like that was something Kane needed. He needed that intimate connection.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them. Because Effie never got that from Tariq.
Yeah.
Tariq just fucked her.
No.
It was for them, they had this like gangster bond. You know what
I
mean? Like
right.
And it was a love-hate situation because remember, she was one of the people, like she was the first person to turn Tariq in when he was going to the original school. So, you know, they've always had this on and off again, love and hate, back and forth. So they've never really been like in love, where Kane and Effie have like this deeper passion that is definitely something we've never seen from either of their characters, because Kane's always been, you know, rah gangster, and so has Effie.
Right.
You know, Effie's always been. What about her mom?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that was the chick off The Sopranos too.
Yep. She was also
shocked.
in Sons of Anarchy.
That was quite interesting.
She has an OnlyFans, by the way.
Ah! Love it. Love it.
I was watching her on I forget what show it was, and they were asking her questions, and she's like, "Look, I make millions of dollars on OnlyFans," and she's like, "I don't even have to show all that stuff. Like, you know, you can think what you want, you can believe what you want to believe, but she's like, OnlyFans pays me more than what these studios want to pay." So I'm like, go ahead.
Listen, that's exactly. Ain't mad at you. Do what you got to do. Be entrepreneurial, okay? Because sex will sell indefinitely. Period.
She is hot. I'm not even gonna deny it. Like she's especially since a lot of the roles that she's played have been very like sexy gangster. Like she's gangster, but she's not all the way gangster. Like she still has that like feminine appeal. Like I don't know. I like her, so
okay.
I might join. I'll let y'all know how it is.
Well, I'm going to say so far, this episode was definitely by far my favorite of this farewell season. Just so many things happened that I was totally digging. Like, let us not forget that Tariq and Monet got set up, and the kids
saved the day. Drew and Diana.
Right. Drew and Diana came in and saved the day. And I love the fact that they tried to hide the fact that they did not get killed. Well, that they got killed, but didn't really get killed. And it had Noma and Michael Ealy kind of, guessing, whether or not they're dead, they're not dead, whatever the case is. And even Method Man, in his little moment of being gangster and killing people and whatever.
Right.
I'm like, everybody is finding their inner gangster on in this last season.
Yeah.
I feel like the message in that is that as innocent as you may love to believe that you are, at any given moment you could find yourself in a situation where you are fighting for your life. Or fighting for your freedom, or fighting for your your perception of your life. Like you're fighting for it at any given moment. It can be taken away.
Yep. At the drop of a dime, you can become a savage. Period.
Because Method Man wasn't intending to kill him. He was just going to take him out there and just get him away from the house so that Kane and all them could do what they needed to do. But, in that moment,
that's what it calls for. And I appreciate the fact that dude wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty. But I also think
he didn't have a choice.
Things have fallen apart for him in terms of being a legit attorney. And he has spent way too much time with gangsters to not feel like, you know what, fuck it, this is where I'm at.
But he always was, because remember, his brother was in jail for a crime that he committed. So I think what was more evident in that situation was that he's always been the gangster. He just became the legal gangster that could get away with things because he knew the law.
Right.
And we just never saw him get his hands dirty. But this was a moment where we saw where he had to, it was him or one or the other, somebody was going to live.
But think about it too. His brother took the rap so that he could live a good, clean life. But again, some things are just in you. They're just in you.
Absolutely.
But awesome episode. If you all have not watched episode 8, that is your homework assignment.
Do it.
That's your homework assignment. I don't even care if you haven't seen the other episodes. Just watch 8. 8 was fire. It was the absolute best episode of the season. No lie. Hands down.
Yeah. They are doing a good job. I will say I was a little like confused for a while, like where they were going with things. But I do like that they took off that Felicia chick real quick. Like they didn't drag that story out, and showed Diana evolving into the gangster that we knew her to. Well, we didn't know her to be, but she definitely jumped into that role willingly until the mess was done. Then she was like, help! But I definitely, episode 8 was had you on the edge of your seat, and a lot of things for me. I feel like they tied a lot of things up. So this last episode, or there's 2 episodes left, right? 9 and 10.
I hope so. I hope there's 2. I hope there's 2. God, I hope.
Let me look it up. Yeah, Ghost.
I don't know.
Book 2.
I thought this one was the last one, but it got me. Like when I seen the end, I was just like, "Is this how they're gonna end it?" I was like playing the sad violin. Yeah, I was like playing the sad violin.
It's not. This cannot be the end, because there's still some things that they need to address. I'm just hoping that there is more than one episode left.
Okay. Wait a minute. It says episode 9 aired September 27th, a union that should bring the Tejadas and Noma together. So this was episode 9 we just saw.
Okay. All right. So then there's one more left then.
Yeah, there's one more left. So, woof.
All right. So I said 8, not 8, 9. Watch episode 9, y'all.
It's called Married to the Game, season 4, episode 9, Married to the Game. So yeah, come back next week when we are able to talk about the finale episode of Ghost Book 2. They are closing the Power series. I don't know what's happening with Force. I don't know what's happening with Raising Kanan, but I can tell you Ghost Book 2 is finito. And we'll find out with the way that it ends if there's going to be a spinoff, because either they close everything up, which is kind of what I hope. I will miss Tariq and Braden and the whole crew, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad to close that chapter and see what's next for the people that write the Power books or for this series. Like, I think they've done a phenomenal job.
Yeah,
there haven't been too many Power episodes that haven't, like, I mean, obviously some were better than others, but ultimately I feel like this is a show that has been very, very well written, very well directed, very well acted. Acted, very well casted. So,
yeah.
Woo! Excited for this next episode. What else you got for us, Casey?
Okay, so I watched Blink twice because nice. I was like intrigued. And so here's the thing. I get to my sister's place on Saturday, and she was watching something else, which is also on my list. And she says, "Oh my God, you got to watch Blink twice. Have you heard about it?" I'm like, "Actually, we were just talking about it on my show. So yes, I'm interested in watching it." She's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're interested in watching." I'm like, "Okay, just fucking put it on, okay? Like, don't give me all the drama." So I prepared to watch it thinking, like, I had all these thoughts about what I thought was going to happen, because we spent so much time talking about the trigger warning and all of this stuff. And so I got to say this, I was a little disappointed from the standpoint of I had created in my mind what I thought I was going to see. That aside, I was blown away by the end of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I was. I was. For a split second, I was even confused. Like, the fuck is going on right now?
Tell me it wasn't epic, though.
Yeah, it was
an epic way to end such a horrific experience.
Yeah.
And then what a way to like flip the script. Like,
yeah. So I mean, it is such an epic ending. I don't even want to say what it is, because you have to see it. You're not ready for the ending by any means. You're not ready for the ending.
You gotta watch the whole thing though. In order for that scene at the very end to make any sense to you, you gotta watch everything from beginning to end. Because there's so I will say Zoe Kravitz did a phenomenal job.
She did.
She did a phenomenal job.
She did,
like,
because
yes, I did give you a lot of like trigger warning, and I could see what they meant by it, but at the same time, I could see where you'd be disappointed. But also the lead up for that.
That's listen. All of what I saw was worth that last scene. It was worth that last scene. I think though, the moment that there's this realization that there's something going on and they're not able to remember what's going on, and they stumble onto the ability to remember and how traumatized they are by what they're remembering, and how they have to play along before they can figure out how to address the issue. And I think in that moment of remembering, what caught me was the fact that the lead character, I don't remember her name. But the black female, she had been to the island more than once.
Yes.
And had no recollection of the fact that she had been there, until she started remembering she had been there. And it was kind of wild because, up until she remembered, there were little things that Channing Tatum's character would say that you're like, why are you saying that? Why are you asking that? Why are you doing that? Or whatever, and
Frida.
Okay. So yes, Frida. And so it's fascinating. I think one of the moments that stands out is when he asked her, how did you get that scar? And she's like, I don't remember. And then you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. And then you find out how she gets the scar, and you're like, motherfucker. So yeah, it is definitely worth watching. Again, I didn't think that the for me, the trigger wasn't as intense as I thought it was going to be. But the part that I think does it for you is you hear them talk about Frida and her friend talk about this opportunity, how they took the opportunity to just fly off with these wealthy people at a moment's notice, no luggage, no nothing. And how it turns out that the other females that were there also did not know these men that they were there with. But Channing Tatum's character gives them the impression that these are their friends. All of these women and people that they introduce, these are their friends. That's Becky. That's Barbara. That's whatever. And so in that moment, you're like, oh, okay. So these are the people they know or whatever, and they're all going to this island. And the minute they all show up in the same bathing suits, in the same outfits every single day, I'm going, nobody finds that creepy? Like, you all are literally in the same fucking outfits all day.
It's a little sassy.
Y'all don't think that's creepy? Right? Really?
Yeah.
And so it is very good. I wish it wasn't. Now Kari saw it different than I did. My sister actually owned it, but I wish it wasn't a pay-per-view type situation, because I'd love for people to watch it. You are going to be fucked up after watching that. Not so much because of the trigger warning, but because of just literally the experience that they had. And it's going to take you back to the things you heard in the news about Epstein, things that you heard about Diddy, things that you heard about Bill Cosby, like all these little things that happen in this movie are little things that are a part of our current reality of entertainers. And it demonstrates how easy it is for these people to do what they did. They did not force these girls. They literally wooed these girls into going. And they knew who the Channing Tatum character was, and were like flattered that he would want to talk to them, and flattered that he would invite them to come hang out on his private island, on the private jet, and da 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 da. And oh, you can leave whenever you want to, no worries, no problem. That's some bullshit. No.
Yeah.
No.
So
And understand too, they went to his private island on his private jet. They did not have passports. So even if they tried to leave, they don't have passport.
Any ID.
Right. So very good. Very good. I'm glad I had a chance to watch it.
I'm glad you did too, because I thoroughly was intrigued. And yes, like you said, these are definite. I think the main message is money and power and fame and celebrity status and all that is, and like you said, little bits of this story, that story, this story, 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Like these are all things. These are all things that represent actual real life.
Events.
This is not just a dramatic,
right,
like completely made up story. It is literally things that actually happened, obviously being changed for entertainment purposes and for the thrill, but at the same time, people being drugged, people being sodomized, people being, all these things are all actual factual representation of actual stories. So yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, I thought she did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what to expect, but I was very impressed. So good job, Zoe.
Yeah. I mean, she kept it light enough that it wasn't too heavy, but just enough of the crazy that you're like, wow. Wow. Yeah.
I like, also real quick, I just wanted to mention, like, I like the part where, because when the two girls first came to the island, they were fighting for Channing's attention.
Yes.
But they both got together and started becoming girls, and they were working together and were trying to get the other girls to join them, which didn't work out in the end. But the fact that they were like working together, even though they started out as competing against each other, like I like that aspect of it, how they,
I did too.
I
did too.
Good job, Zoe. Good job. So Desiree, what you got for us?
I'm gonna talk about The Penguin. Are you guys watching it on HBO?
I've seen one episode.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, so there's 2 episodes. The first one came out, and then the second one came out, I think it was this weekend or whatever. Because I was like waiting for it to come on, and then I had to wait till I think it was the weekend. But so it's about like Gotham City, Batman. It's Oz Cobb, also known as the Penguin, makes a play to seize the reins of the crime world in Gotham. So there's other Colin Farrell stars in it. He's like, and one of the popular
he does not look like he's unrecognizable.
Himself? Right. Agreed. And Christine Mediatoni, she plays Sophia Falcone. I love her character so far. She's like kind of like the crazy crazy mobster, kind of like I think she's the crazy mobster's daughter or whatever. Because it's like she's surrounded by all powerful men and they just like push her aside, but she's like, no, like I'm gonna stand my ground. I'm gonna try and do my own stuff and see where this goes. And so on the second episode, I'm not gonna spoil everything, but the end of the second episode was like really good. That's gonna be like, it's like the make it or break it kind of, where, you know, she was like, "Are you in?" And then that was it.
So from the first episode, remember he sort of recruited that young kid who tried to steal from him. So is that young kid still around?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they tried to do there was like some theft. They had to like plant some gems and steal from the family and do this and that. Cause he's like, I feel like his character, like Oz's or the Penguin's character, he's like playing both sides of the fence. So he wants to, so he wants to, you know, do that. And then it can get you into trouble sometimes because he had killed somebody and then it was like an accomplice. And then, you know, they're trying to figure out like whose name is he gonna give up. And then he had the knife on him. So then he had to do like a good old switcheroo, like try and start a ruckus, plant it on somebody else. And then the other person died, though, out of his expense. So, I mean, it's a little bit crazy, like, but when you're in that scene, I guess you got to do what you got to do to survive. Like, it's that mentality, right? So,
yeah,
it was really good. Like, I didn't know if I was going to like it, but if you like Sopranos, like the mafia shows, kind of like things like that, you'll like it. You'll like it.
So I think what I liked from the way they did it, if you've watched old school Batman, Adam West Batman series, and then I think it was the Danny DeVito character of the Penguin. It was very comical, very cartoonish, if you will. And what I like about this version of him is they make him more of a real person, kind of like the Joker. They made them more of a real person. And so it's a little easier to kind of get engaged with the character. And I like that I like these origin stories. I love an origin story. Let me just be honest. So I like seeing, by now, you know, all these names, the Falcons and Oswald Cobblepot or whatever, you know, all those character names. So it's nice to see these stories and hear these stories of how they become the version of the character that we know from the Batman movies. And so it's quite interesting. I'm fascinated to see this one because I'll be honest, when they introduced the idea of the Joker, I really wasn't buying into it. I'm like, I don't Joker's too crazy, too wild, too weird. And so I'm like, and still the Joker is crazy, wild, and weird. But I think I'm willing to go along because I'm just curious. And so I kind of felt the same way about the Penguin. I wasn't necessarily pressed to watch it. And then I watched the first episode and was like, oh, okay. All right. This might be interesting.
Agreed. Yeah, I liked it too.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
So that's on HBO Max, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I watch it on streaming, and on streaming it's on Max.
Yeah. I have yet to catch up with it. But what I have caught up with, again, I have so many things. And I have some other ones that I did want to talk about, but we're going to talk about Tulsa King because Sylvester Stallone. How can we not? I mean, we're talking about Channing Tatum and Kane and Method Man. We got to talk about the good old Sylvester Stallone. And it's off to a slow start. You know, they're always building up the storyline, and I get it. But I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy watching him for an hour because for an older man, he is looking good. So yeah, Tulsa King.
Did you watch the last episode?
Yeah, the most recent beat the charges.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beats the charges, y'all. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. And let me tell you what I liked about that scene is the way he built up to the fact that he got set up. And unfortunately, he had to do it at the expense of that woman. But he built a very clear, how did we meet? Where did we meet? What happened? Did we do this and that and da 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 and da 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 da? And she, he asked the questions in a way where she had no choice but to be honest. And I'm like, it was that line of questioning that clearly got him the not guilty verdict. But there's also a part of me that feels like she's kind of regretting allowing herself to be put in that position. Because yes, he is a gangster, but oh my God, if he ain't smooth as fuck. I mean, he's very, very smooth. Very smooth. And
Yes.
I think when he said to her that it wasn't until he met her that he even felt something after having been locked up and all of this stuff, I think she had to think twice about what she did and how she did what she did, because she was fine until she found out how old he was. And even then, she sort of was managing this idea of his age. And then she found out he was a gangster. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's a whole nother thing. So yeah, I don't know. There's a part of me that hopes she comes around and is willing to give him a little play, because I do kind of think they were nice together. And but you have the other chick.
I want him to get with the other
the
lady.
horse lady. I don't trust.
I like her. I like her,
but
I don't trust her. But I don't trust the FBI agent either. She set him up.
I think she set him up because she was afraid. I think she was more afraid of getting caught with him.
No,
than
they
she
gave
was
her the
of him.
ultimatum, and she chose her career
She
and
did.
her reputation over how she, and didn't take into consideration that she was in the wrong too, because she played him. She manipulated the situation, and she manipulated the power that she had, that she knew she had over him. And so what makes her any better?
Nothing. I just like her better. I like her better because she genuinely liked him. Not knowing who he was, what he was, none of his history. She genuinely liked him. It wasn't
she
until
how old he was.
And well, it started with how old.
And I'm bitter. I'm bitter about that. And then I'm bitter that she fucking turned him in. So no.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
I'm just kidding. It's not that serious.
No, I know. No, but I guess I get what you're saying. I mean, because I did, when I found out she turned him in, I'm like, you skanky hoe. Come on now.
Right.
Why? Yeah. And it wasn't because he genuinely did something wrong that she was aware of. That's why I'm saying I think she was afraid of what it would do to her career, to your point, what it would do to her career if she did not say something, right? Like if she didn't say what she knew, cooperate with what they wanted to do, I think she just was like, I'm trying too hard. It's too hard for a woman to get over. It's too hard to advance as a woman. Let me just go ahead and take this opportunity to set this dude up. Now, here's where I got lost. And maybe you can help me with this. So in that last episode, you've got the local dude who basically stepped to Manfredi and was like, I ain't scared of you. I know who you are and I'm not afraid of you. You really should be afraid of me. And then he turns around and calls not the local dude, but the dude in the area who's technically supposed to own the area, and is like, yo, do you know he's here? How is that possible? What's going on? And, I'm like, wait, because there's the son back up in New York who does not like Manfredi. He's trying to find his way of getting him gone. And now you've got the local dude in the area who's like, yo, you got to kick up to me. And Manfredi's like, the fuck I do. I don't think so. No. And
one of the things that I absolutely love about him is he don't take no shit from nobody.
He is.
And I love it.
He is a bona fide OG. He's a bona fide OG. He's like, no, I worked for your father. Fuck you. No, not doing it. Mm-mm.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
So yeah, Tulsa King.
I don't know where this guy came from, because remember in the first season there was a whole different people, other people that were claiming that was the territory. So those were like locals. This is a guy that apparently is a part of the Italian
family
mob, and the family. So it's all pretty confusing and
So that's the part that threw me off, because I'm like, they sent him down there to that area to work for them, and now you're like, there's someone else already in the area that's working. And
so it sounded like they set him up.
And that's where I was like, wait, am I following this storyline right? Like that was my thing. I'm like, okay, hold on. Because even the dude, because as Manfredi said to him, you weren't thinking about this area until you found out I was here making money.
Right. So if I was here struggling,
you still wouldn't know. Really, the truth of the matter is,
you wouldn't even care.
You wouldn't have known they wouldn't have known he was there had it not been for the local dude who kind of low key is paranoid. So, but anyway, it's that time.
It is that time.
Yeah,
it is that time. Go ahead.
That time, y'all.
In just a few weeks, it will be time for Exotica New Jersey, October 25th to the 27th in the good old Edison, New Jersey. You can visit EXXXOTICA.tv. Ladies Free Friday, so sign up for your free tickets if you're looking to be a seminar speaker, an exhibitor, or just attend the show. There's some great stage presence and seminars and all kinds of great things. Go to EXXOTICA.tv, get your tickets, or get more information on how you would like to be a part of the show. And of course, December 6th to the 8th in Washington, D.C., my backyard. Also, Ladies Free Friday. So same information, EXXOTICA.com. Yes. And of course, you can always find us on our social media at Platinum PZZY and the number 1 on Twitter, and queenofbbw.com for all my links.
Yeah, the stuff in there, whatever that says, right? That right there.
So let's make it simple, Casey, shall we? She's like, just
and mine too.
There. Yeah, whatever
mine
that
too.
says.
Desirable bottom everywhere.
Well, see, I didn't even make it that simple. Desiree's is simple.
Stalk me.
Yeah. Hold on. Where is it?
There you go. Right there. Yeah, a little bit right there.
It's on our bazingas. Follow us.
It's on our bazingas.
It's on our bazingas.
Follow us.
Oh, look at that. I love it. Who's that? What shirt is that?
This is DJ Rockin' Ronnie. Wait.
Ah, okay.
And he's on my bazingas.
He's on your bazingas. We want to say thank you to everyone who comes and shows up every week and shows us love and support and is in the chat being interactive with our live show. And for those of you that are new here, we also want to say thank you for joining us and hope that you'll come to one of our future shows. We're here every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Exxxotica's YouTube, Exxxotica's Twitter, and EXXXOTICA.tv. So we will see you guys next week.
And welcome back, Jason.
Welcome back, Jason.
Yeah, welcome back, Jason. Whitney, Zany, Chris, and the whole BoobTube crew. We love you.
Everybody.
And we'll see you next week. Same time, same bad channel. Back to you, Casey.
Peace out.